Mo Salah dropped for Liverpool's Champions League game with Inter Milan, but the club stopped short of taking disciplinary action against him. Welcome to the Premier League show. Liverpool say Mo Salah will not be considered for selection for a short period. We're going to be live to Milan shortly before hearing from Arne Slot for the first time since those comments in around 45. And Asmir Begovic alongside us this evening. Great to have you here. Look, we'll get straight into it. Are Liverpool correct to drop Mo Salah given what's gone on?
Well, I think it's a difficult situation for everyone. I don't think any club wants to be dealing with the situations. I think looking back, probably Mo Salah would like to maybe handle the situation a little bit different as well. So the club has to take a stance, unfortunately. I think overall, Arne Slot's been really respectful in the press, and I know it's a difficult situation. The team's not getting results. Frustrating for everyone, but I think it's been really good in the press in terms of his players and being positive. So for these comments to happen, it's obviously never ideal. Must be a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Could have been avoided in many different ways. I'm sure it could have, but I think the club had to take a stance, and it's an unfortunate one for everyone.
Yeah, and they have stopped short at disciplinary action, haven't they? So are you surprised by that, or do you think that's the right call?
No, I think that's a really mature way of dealing with it. Have a conversation about it. I think the team has to focus on the Champions League game. It's a big game for them. When they come back, you have a conversation and see what the best way is going forward. I think the African Cup of Nations comes at a really good time. I think it's a good one for Mo Salah to go away and represent his country, clear his head as well, let the dust settle, and then I think as a club, as a player, as a manager, the hierarchy can then come back, when he comes back, sit down and figure out the best way forward.
Okay, and just we mentioned mixed zones a bit earlier in the show. And I know you say that Salah is quite an emotional person. He's had these interviews before where he's spoken out, but quite measured also in what he was saying, and he did stop short of naming who wants him out of the club or from his perspective. So it was almost, he'd thought about this before and he knew what would happen after these comments in terms of the reaction from everyone.
Yeah, I think he would have known, but I think, again, to process those things after a game is really, really difficult. I think Mo Salah is a legend of Liverpool Football Club. He's a player who's achieved everything there is to achieve with Liverpool, and I think for him it's a difficult one. I think a mixed zone can be a difficult place for everyone. Again, you're looking at maybe at the press office or people who can handle these situations a little bit different and maybe avoid Mo Salah speaking. But again, it's very difficult for a player. Once you've been after a game, he would have loved to have been involved. He's a proud player. He would have loved to maybe help his team get a more positive result. The fact that he wasn't able to do so is going to stir up a lot of emotions. And then when you have a microphone put in front of you, it's very difficult to control those emotions and really, channel them in the right way. So for him, like I said, looking back at it now, maybe a few days later, he would have liked to do things differently, without a doubt. But it's something that's happened and they all have to deal with.
Okay, well, we can get a bit more reaction now, and we can hear from Inter Milan manager now and see what he's had to say about it.
It's not my concerns. The only thing I know is that they have players they can sub Mo Salah, and they keep the level as high as this team or this club has done for the last, for the whole history of this club. With ups and downs is normal. They have a team. They don't have only one player, and that's why we need to be concerned about whatever they do as a group, as a unit, and not whatever they do individually. Individually is the consequence of their quality and their strength as a group.
It's difficult, isn't it? Christian Chivu speaking there, and it's almost overshadowing this huge game that Liverpool have got. How would this team and the squad be feeling?
Yeah, I think that they're professionals, big players, a lot of big characters in there. Every captain, Virgil van Dijk, Robertson, Alisson, there's going to be, people looking to them to make sure they lead the way in the right way in terms of the other players and go about their business in a really professional way, prepare properly, obviously train today, get ready for the game tomorrow, another big game, and a big opportunity for them to get back on track. It takes one, sometimes it only takes one result to go in your favor, a positive one to get things back on track, and then you've got Brighton on the weekend. So for them, it's about, focusing on the job in hand and making sure they try and get a result in Milan.
Obviously, we've got the transfer window coming up, not that far away. If Salah were to go, where could you see him going?
I can't see him going anywhere, to be honest. I really don't, because Mo Salah, as I said earlier, he's a legend of his football club. He's adored by all the fans. I know this isn't the perfect situation at this moment in time, but he's done so much for them, and they didn't re-sign him on a 2-year deal for no reason. So Liverpool need Mo Salah, and I think Mo Salah needs Liverpool. Being in a World Cup year, heading into the World Cup in the summer, I think Liverpool is the best place for him. I think, as I said earlier, the best situation for everyone is to try and get back on the same page, have those conversations, be honest with each other, keep it in-house, behind those 4 walls, and then figure out the best way going forward and be positive about it.
Okay, well, for now, Salah has been dropped, and the club, as we say, have stopped short of disciplining Salah, despite him claiming that they'd thrown him under the bus. But, well, it has been a hot topic of conversation today.
I think it's a scandalous interview. I think he's bang out of order to saying what he said. You know, the club is struggling at the moment. They need their top players and their leaders to be, you know, united together in turning this club back around and getting them back into winning ways. There is no. He talks about having credit in the bank. There's no credit in the bank when you play football. Right? That's the industry. You perform. That's what we're paying you for. He's on 400, 500 grand a week, whatever he's on. You are paid to perform for Liverpool. He hasn't performed this season. Question marks over why he's not performed, whether it's the tactics, the way they play, whether it's because of Trent and miss him. Regardless, you haven't performed. The manager's decided to leave you out. If he wants to leave you out, that's up to him. Deal with it and get yourself back in the team.
Things should be kept in-house. Many players have had disagreement with managers, with ownership. I think just keep it in-house. I was really surprised at this moment in time that he came out and spoke, and he feels like he's been thrown under the bus and promises were broke. I mean, I don't know what was said. No one knows what was said. But ultimately, he got a new contract, earning an awful lot of money, and he hasn't performed to the level that we have all been talking about Mo Salah for many, many years at Liverpool.
The transfer policy in the summer has absolutely stitched Mohamed Salah up, and I think that's what he's referring to about being thrown under the bus. If you look now that those footballers can't play together, we've been saying it on and off these shows for the last few months. Now this Liverpool board are looking at Mohamed Salah. He's the oldest. He's on the highest wages. And it's sort of like, well, do you know what? Let's make a system about him and get some money for him in January. So everything that he said, it's very emotive. It's very emotional. Yeah, he shouldn't have said it. But I don't think life's black and white. And I've got some sympathy for Mohamed Salah. But I think Salah's gone anyway, so I don't need to choose. I think Mohamed Salah's made this decision to leave the football club.
It is what it is. He spoke the truth. The truth's come out. And I think everyone should listen to him more, in my opinion.
You know, we can all look into the fishbowl from the outside, but we're no the fish.
He's not on form at the moment. He needs to be on the bench.
Should he play in the next game, which is Champions League football tomorrow in Italy against Inter Milan?
No. I believe so. He's one of our best players, so why wouldn't he?
I would start him in the next game. Try and get his confidence up, get him in amongst the players again, get him amongst all the team, get him on the manager's side.
Welcome back to the Monday Night Football